All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to be doing a live role play here with Juan J. Perez. I'm with Uncharted Recreation. If you're looking for an RV and you're in the area, definitely go see Jay because he can take care of you. We've had him in our comments, and he definitely likes to take care of his customers and make sure that he's providing them with a unit that meets their needs. So welcome, Jay.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me, Chris. I do appreciate it, and you taking the time. So should be fun.
Oh, absolutely. And where are you guys at, Uncharted Recreation? Where's your dealership?
So we are in Meridian, Idaho, located off of Fairview and Hickory.
Okay.
Not off the freeway, just a locally owned and operated little RV company, but been doing RVs for a little while. So it's been really cool to be a part of not only something smaller, but that's growing and really gaining a lot of market share and stuff like that. So really exciting stuff. Yeah.
You get to see it grow. You're like a part of the growth. You see a lot of the customers probably coming back at this point, and it's a lot of see their families growing up and their kids and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. It's definitely rewarding to see like customers be really happy with their RVs and stuff like that. So it's a passion of mine just to be inside of the industry. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good news.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Beautiful. Well, what we're going to do, we'll go through a live role play. I'm just going to act like I'm a walk-in lead for you. And then I just want you to field the lead like you would. I'm there at your dealership, and then we'll kind of touch base on some pointers at the end, and we'll kind of go from there. So
cool.
Let's get started. So I'm going to walk in the dealership now, and then I'm going to introduce myself, and we'll be good to go. So, hey, Jay, my name's Chris. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming in today. Is there maybe a customer but is there maybe a salesman that you're working with, or how'd you find us?
No, I haven't worked with any salespeople yet. I just kind of looked, online for local dealerships and found you guys. I've also drove, around in the local area and seen you guys before. We've always kind of wanted to stop, but we just never have. And today we figured we'd come take a look at some RVs, and we're not really buying anything today. I'm not sure if we even know what we're doing, but we figured we'd come take a look.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for giving us a shot to earn your business. Really excited for you to come down here with Uncharted. We do things a little bit different here. So I have an open lot. If you turn around, you'll see I have some used inventory over here, new inventory. Are you wanting to stay in the used market, new market? What have you kind of heard or?
Well, to be honest, we haven't looked used or new. We don't even know what we're really doing yet. Like I said, we're not buying today, so we were just coming in to look through some RVs and, see what they look like. We've never really done it, so.
I get it. You don't know what you don't know. I'm here to help you, so let me guide you through the process. I'll make it really easy. We're really easy to work with. So let me start off with a few questions. Do you mind if I pepper you with a few?
Well, I'd rather just kind of take a look at the, go out on the lot, take a look through some units and see what they look like.
Yeah, for sure. Chris, I 100% hear you there. I do want to respect your time, and let's make use of your time while you're here. I don't want to get you really confused and waste 4 hours of your time and make it a very grueling process. Let me make this very easy for you. How many people do you need to sleep?
It'll probably just be me and my wife. I have a couple kids that may come with us, but they're 14 and 11 now, so they're not too much into camping. So I don't want to base everything around them. I don't think if we were to do it. But my wife and I like to travel. Yeah, exactly. We'll get them a tent. But me and my wife, we like to travel. We've been thinking about going different places, but I guess this is kind of where we're at. We just wanted to do some research on them and see what they look like.
Yeah. So the two of you, happily married, just want to hit the road. And if
I don't know about happily, but
hey, give and take, right? Happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy house.
There we go.
I get it, man. Let me ask you this. Now, it's part of my job to make sure that you're towing safely. What are you going to be towing with?
I have an F-150 right now. To be honest, I'm not sure what it pulls. So probably an F-150. I like to have trucks, maybe something a little bit bigger, but I'll at least have that.
Awesome, man. So we'll make sure that we're in that range. I'd hate for you to fall in love with something that you just can't tow. Now you're buying not only the RV, but then you're buying a bigger truck, and it's just, the wife's not going to like that. So we'll make her happy. Now, as far as where you like to travel, are you going to be plugged in most of the time? Do you like to dry camp? Where are we at there?
But we've never camped, so I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. I don't know
Cool.
how they work. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that.
No worries. I'll give you a few of my favorite spots here. So locally, if you go maybe 45 minutes from where we are, there's 3 islands crossing. They have a nice little park there. If you want to do full hookup, I would say your first maiden voyage, do a full hookup, work out the kinks, make sure you're used to it, and then go for the big trip. So I'll give you a few of my favorite spots. Redfish Lake is another one too. I'll give you the directions to that. So I have a pretty good idea. These are pretty vague, but I have a pretty good idea of what you might like for floor plan wise. So for starters, I'm going to get you into something like a rear bath. This is going to give your wife a lot of space, probably to get ready if you guys haven't really gone camping. Bigger bathroom's always good. So let's just start there. We'll look at the floor plan. If it's a good fit, great. If not, let's just take a look at another one. Sound fair?
Well, my wife, she's kind of weird. She likes to take baths in the river.
Got it.
I don't know if she would want a big bath. You know what I mean? She's just kind of like she was a hippie at one point in her life.
Let me just go swim.
Exactly.
Well,
with a bar of soap.
Let's take a look at this floor plan, and you'll see what I mean by a rear bath. The rear bath is going to give you a bigger setup for not only the shower portion, toilet, but a lot of get ready space. If your wife's a hippie, I'm a hippie too, man. I get it. But let's take a look at this floor plan first and then see what we could tweak from there. Sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay. So on this floor plan, you could see where we're going to enter on this side here. We're going to go to the bathroom. Now you're going to have some separation. The separation from the bathroom and the main coach, the main cabin, is pretty important to a lot of customers and couples. Is that something that's important to you, having the separation between the two?
No, we pretty much do everything together, to be honest. So, it's nice to have a separate bathroom, but we don't need too much. I mean, I don't know. I guess as long as we have enough room to hang out and conversate and travel, that's really what we want to do,
Got it. So you're pretty minimalistic when it comes to an RV? Are you wanting to start with something really basic?
I mean, we've never RV'd before. But we're not, she's a hippie, so she's minimalistic as it gets.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty easy to, please. I don't need too many bells and whistles.
Copy that.
I like to go out there and, we like to kayak and, we like to get in the water, go down the river, take a backpack and some food and some water and kind of see where we get lost and then come back to the RV, have a fire kind of deal.
Yeah.
So that's really what we like to do.
Okay.
And so that's really what we do.
Awesome.
Maybe we'll cook outside sometimes and stuff too.
Okay. So wanting to get a little bit in the sticks, I have a couple options with an off-road package, 2-inch lift kit, things like that would get you out in the sticks. And if you really want to get the feel of just wanting to hook up and go, kind of a nomad style camping, if I'm hearing you correctly, that sounds like what you like to do. So I have a few options for you. Now, if we want to get something pretty minimalistic with an outdoor kitchen, you want to cook the bacon outside so that way it's not lingering inside, I have a good choice for you. It's very minimalistic in design. This one actually doesn't have a bathroom, which it sounds like you guys are probably fine without. So I'm going to show you what's called my ROG by Encore. This is totally different spectrum. The ROG by Encore is going to give you a 2-inch lift kit, off-road tires. This one's certified Sasquatch proof, meaning that there's 0 wood composite built with it. The frame itself is awesome. Your F-150 is not going to have any issue towing this. This is all aluminum frame. The chassis itself, which means what the trailer sits on, is aluminum frame too, which means it's lighter and more durable to get out in the sticks. And it does have a nice big rear kitchen. And if you pack a generator with you and you get really hot, let's say you go to Arizona or Moab in Utah, and it gets really hot, pack a generator with you, and this 13.5 BTU AC will cool down the whole coach. So it has plenty of power to do so. Also, space for you and the wife. It's pretty minimalistic in design, but it's designed to get you outdoors, right?
Okay.
Let's take a look at this guy. It's called a 12RK. The RK means rear kitchen. I'll show you what the rear kitchen looks like. Okay.
Okay.
So follow me. Take a look. Do a quick demo for you. I'll pull out the
Okay.
kitchen. I'll show you how easy this is.
Perfect.
Click this lever here. Pull out the kitchen. Now you could see yourself cooking outdoors. You also have an awning above you. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll show you how easy it is to set this awning up.
Okay.
Now, is this something that you could see yourself in or camping with the wife?
Now, is there a sofa in here?
There is. So it's a trifold. So you could convert it into a sofa, and then it trifolds out into a bed. It's an 8-inch foam mattress, very comfortable. I'll show you. Let's hop inside. Both of us can fit in here. Let's set it out. Let's both lay down and see how comfortable you are.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is a pretty nice unit. I like this one.
Okay, fair enough. Now, as far as your wife goes, she knows you're out here shopping.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Cool.
she knows I'm out here shopping. I don't make any decisions without her. So
No, for sure.
you know, I definitely will have to have her look at anything that I try to buy today if you know. But I'm you know, I still don't know what I'm looking for, to be honest. You know, we're really new into it.
Mhm.
And we're just, you know, we just don't know what we want. So, you know, I appreciate your time today. I appreciate you for showing me
Yeah.
these things.
No worries. Chris, let me ask you this. What would your wife think about the ROG 12RK? What would she think? I'm sure you know her better than I do, right?
I don't know if I do. I think that I do every year, and then every year I think that I don't know her anymore. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I get it, man. I'm married too.
I think that she would like it. You know, I think that she'd like the more minimalistic one, where I think
Okay.
that, you know, I'm minimalistic, but I still like having nice stuff where I can kind of kick back and relax a little bit more. So I think I want
For
something a
sure.
little bit bigger. So we'll
Okay.
probably have to talk about it and figure out what we want, and then
No, for
come
sure.
back and grab something.
I'm in. What is her schedule like? Is she pretty flexible? Is she able to come down right now? Should we just maybe FaceTime her, see if this is maybe something in the wheelhouse?
She doesn't have a cell phone, so I'll have to bring her down next week or something like that with me, and maybe we can
Yeah,
take her through some RVs and, you know,
awesome.
see if she likes anything.
Man, I love it. She doesn't have a cell phone. She's really hippie.
That's
I
insane.
get it. Yeah, that's awesome. So, do you have your phone on you?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's take a few photos of the ROG 12RK.
Okay.
Just to make sure that this is something that you could show your wife, make sure that she's on board with it too. Let's get also another unit in front of you, which is going to be one of my better ideas. Now, this is going to bring both those worlds together. It's kind of our happy medium. Now,
Okay.
I want to show you this guy. It's short off-road tires, really simplistic, but it's going to have those amenities where you get to relax if you want to relax. If you want to add a TV, you could add a TV to the ROG. This one has one installed. It's my Kodiak Cub series. Now, still aluminum frame, really good construction, well built. So let's take a look at this guy. So it's the 199 RK. This is a rear kitchen. Now you also have the outdoor kitchen still, so you're not losing on that. You still get to keep that inside of this unit as well. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Follow me.
Okay, let's go take a look.
So Chris, as you can see, it's the smooth finish on the outside. The ROG
Okay.
had aluminum. This is fiberglass, really smooth finish, a very nice, sleek looking RV, easily towable by the F-150, so it's not going to be much heavier. It is
Yeah.
very manageable. Off-road tires, you get to keep that aspect as well. This one also has onboard solar. I know that going off-grid was a little bit important to you and your wife. So what that means for you, it's going to charge the battery, make sure the battery always has a charge while you're out camping. Now, if you wanted to get a little more elaborate, we could cross that bridge when we get there. Now, take a peek inside. You have a nice big rear kitchen, but you also have the propane disconnect and the outdoor fridge for an outdoor kitchen as well. Now, kind of a compromise there. I like to tell customers, shop with the 80-20 principle. If the RV is 80% of what you want, that's the right fit for you. So let's take a
Okay.
look inside, see how it feels, and we'll go from there.
Okay, let's take a look.
Cool. Now, as we're looking in the rear kitchen, where do you see yourself relaxing when you want some downtime? Maybe your wife's out in the river taking her bath and you're just relaxing. Where do you see yourself?
So I'll probably be, if it's too hot, I'm going to be inside. I guess probably watching some TV possibly, or just hanging out, reading, listening to some music, probably something like that. If
Got
it's
it.
not too hot, I'll be outside around a fire. I like to throw cornhole bags, so sometimes when people if I'm at a campground, maybe they'll
Yeah.
play with me or something. Because my wife,
Yeah.
she'll throw with me, but she's too easy, so I need some
Got it.
competition.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I just throw out bags and hope somebody will come play with me. That's good. And then, so I'll just kind of throw some bags out there by the fire and, just relax. And then sometimes we'll go kayaking. So, depending on where we're at, we'll, be at the river, pack like a backpack or something with some food and just kind of roll out. So we'll either probably be on the water or around a fire, or if it's too hot, and just kind of hanging out inside and, doing something recreational.
Yeah, for sure, man. So cornhole, love it. This has a big pass-through, so you can put your cornhole bowls inside of the unit. Don't have to remember, oh, crap, I forgot my cornhole board. So just leave it inside of the RV, set it, forget it. You'll be ready to go. If we run into each other camping, I'll make sure to give you some good competition. I like throwing some cornhole too. So as far as this setup goes, as you're throwing the cornhole, you have a nice big 12-foot awning. Now that's going to give you an extra 140 square feet of fun outside covered.
Okay.
I know nobody likes being hot. If you're too hot, it's just not fun playing cornhole.
Right.
So you could set this out. You have some shade, and then you can invite some people over, have a little cornhole competition, have fun out here, along with the outdoor little grill. So if you did want to take a little break and eat, you're able to eat right here at your leisure. If you wanted to pack your kayaks, you could either put them in the truck, or we have a 2-inch receiver hitch for a cargo rack. So if we look at the back here, that 2-inch receiver kit, you could put your kayaks back here, you could pack a generator with you if you truly want to get off grid. Now you have many different options here, so that's something that you could add on as well. Now, taking a look around here, is this a comfortable size for you? Do you feel like this is a good floor plan, maybe a happy medium? What are your thoughts?
This looks like a pretty nice floor plan. I think that she might like this one.
Okay. Now we're the opposite of pressure here, and I don't want you to feel like there's any pressure. However, I don't have another one of these. So let's slow down. Let's take a look at the inside again, and I'll show you how we get down to our price. Now you'll see there's an MSRP price, there's a savings, and then there's an actual sell price there. Now how we get down there, we pass savings on to our customer here at Uncharted. So the MSRP is just a suggestion. The savings, it's all pre-negotiated. And then the sell price is the actual sell price that you'll pay plus state tax, title, and dock. Now, we're really easy to do business with. And the reason why we do that there is my team spends tons of hours. I have 2 guys. All they do is shop all day. If I'm not the top 3 for filter, when you suggest and filter by price, I'm not gaining a ton of traction. I'm very big on the internet. However, here at the dealership, if you take a look around, I operate on just over an acre. So it's very important to turn this inventory over. Let's take a look at this. I'd hate for you to lose this opportunity. And we could also make this completely contingent on your wife's blessing. Sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay, let's take a look at it one more time. So we'll go through and I'll show you the inside again. I'll show you the floor, the build quality. They do a hyper deck floor. So this is gonna allow you to have peace of mind that there's not any water intrusion, moisture, or anything warping on the floor. Not only that, vacuum bonded walls and ceiling. Now what that means for you is the whole wall is vacuum sucked and there's 0 warping. I'm pretty sure you've seen some older RVs with the bubbling on the side. If you've seen that, that's called delamination. Delamination is kind of a no-no term in the RV world. So this is designed to prevent that. Asdel fiberglass, again, another nice quality to the Kodiak that they do. So let's take a look on the inside again and just make sure this is the right floor plan. If there's one thing I can't change, it's the floor plan. We could add things, we could put a TV in, we could do this, we could put a hitch on, but I can't change the floor plan. So let's just make sure you're comfortable with it. Sound fair?
Yeah.
So
I
as we're
think this
taking
is
a
a
look
good floor
around.
plan.
Okay.
To be
As
honest, I
we're
think
taking
it's
a look
pretty
around
good. I
here.
mean, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, it's a good floor plan. Um, now, as far as the way we do business, we're really easy to do business with. Now, if we get all numbers agreeable, is there any reason why you wouldn't buy this today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, we're not buying today. I
Yeah.
just came in to get some information and look and, really kind of see what I'm looking at. We've never been in RV, so, we just, at least I did. I keep saying we like she's here, but I guess that's a perk of being married. You just always include
Yeah,
the other one. But
for
nonetheless,
sure.
just came in to get some, information so that I could take it back to my wife and show her. And then,
Yeah.
I was really going to bring her in later. And
Yeah.
then, we could look at some RVs a little more serious. That's what I was hoping to do. So, I could always get your information, and when I come back, I'll link up with you, and we'll take a look some more.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely exchange info with you. I'll be happy to give you my information. I want to get yours information too. Now, let me ask you this. So, in a perfect world, right? Say the wife's here, she likes the floor plan, and you guys move forward on this. I would have this prepped and ready to go on our delivery line. So, what that all entails is my team goes through a full inspection. That's going to take some time. We then collect a deposit that allows me to tell my team to go through their inspection and get this ready for a sale. Now, it's standing tall, it's ready to go. Now, you and your wife have every opportunity to go through this trailer one last time, not only here on the sales lot, but on my get ready line, right? Your delivery line is what we call it. So we go through, we give you a full orientation. We make sure that you know how to use the RV here. So we kind of give you the full red carpet treatment. And after that, you then sign paperwork for ownership. Now, I hear you. You want to run this by your wife, but let me ask you this. Why would you want to put yourself through this whole process again and again and again and again when I think that we found the right floor plan? I've been doing this long enough to know I think we found the right floor plan, and this would save you a ton of time and get you back out RVing and actually enjoy RVing and know what it feels like to go out in the sticks. So I think this is the right one. Would you be fine if maybe we call your wife and get her blessing?
Well, we haven't been through enough RVs for me to tell you that I think that is the one that we need. You know what I mean? Like, I want to jump in a little bit
Yeah.
more, see the floor plans, and really feel them out before I make that kind of decision. And my wife hasn't even seen them yet, so I want to get her in here and have her looking through them. So, it's definitely a nice unit, but I don't know if it was perfect for us.
No worries. Let's do this. Let's exchange some information. What's a good date for you and your wife to come down and take a look at RVs with me?
I don't know her schedule, to be honest. So what I'll have to do,
Yeah.
I'll have to get your number, and then I'll have to give you a call back and schedule some time with you once I
Perfect.
figure out what she's doing. So I know she's got yoga by the river next week, and she's got swimming with the fishes this Thursday.
Swimming with the fishes. There you go.
It's weird stuff, but I don't know. I love her to death nonetheless. But so I'll talk with her and see, what we have going on, and we'll come back down and we'll take a look.
Cool. Let's make it happen, man. Yeah. And there's one thing I can tell you confidently, Chris, is I won't give up on you guys. I want to make sure that you guys get into the right RV. That's what I'm here for. Let me guide you through the process. Let me get you into the right fit. And I'll be the first to say, if I don't have the right floor plan, I'll openly bow out of being able to earn your business. But I do feel like this is the right unit, the right floor plan. I'd love to set some time aside for you. So let's do this. Let's firm up a date. Let's get together. I'll follow up with you. Now, is call best for you, or do you have a preferred method?
Calls are the best.
Awesome, man. And what's your phone number?
330-703-3930.
3930. Awesome.
You got it.
And then a good email address for you, Chris?
Chris@got.marketing.
Got it. So all these notes I've been taking, I'm going to make sure that I hold on to all these notes. I want to be able to give you a good customer service, especially on the way back on our next visit. So if I'm not here, I could tag somebody else in and help you out and just make this streamlined for you. So either way, even if I'm off, I'm more than willing to help you. I'll grab one of my teammates to come help you out and just make sure that they're caught up to speed. All right.
That sounds
And
good.
what's your wife's name?
Gina.
Gina. All right. Now I know Gina doesn't have a cell phone, but I'll make sure to contact you, and then we could get a date and make sure it works out for all parties to be here. Okay.
Perfect. That sounds good. I appreciate your time,
Awesome,
Jay.
man. No, thank you. Thanks for visiting. I appreciate it.
All right, beautiful. All right. So I think you did a pretty good job. I think good job. I think one thing that would probably help you is I think you rushed into your sales process a little bit instead of really getting me to sit down with you and ask questions. I think you interviewed me right probably in the showroom, is what it seemed like.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd really like you to interview them where you're going to close them at, probably at your desk, right? Because when we interview someone right in the showroom like that, it allows them to have the control of the sale, and then it prefaces it that they have the control. And then once we move into the interview with that preface, it's harder for us to now get the control back because we've already given it to them. So for us to backpedal, now it kind of is like, wait a minute, why are we going backwards? Does that make sense? So
it does.
I know you've watched some of my videos, and that's why my introduction is it's the same every single time. Okay. And the reason I do the introduction the way that I do it, and not saying yours was bad, I'm just giving you my point of view here now.
Yeah.
The way that I do it that way is when I explain to people, because people don't like to go through surprises, realistically. We don't like surprises. We want to know what we're going to want to go through. We want to make sure it's tailored to us, right? So when I do when someone comes in and says, hey, like if hey, we're not buying today, we're just going to take a look at some RVs. The first thing that I ask them is, hey, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever bought from our dealership before? And I'm going to say it just like that, and I'm going to ask them if they've ever bought from us, because this is almost like a soft close. It's getting them introduced to the idea that I'm going to ask them to buy eventually. Okay. So it's almost like, have you ever bought from here before? Because I'm going to try to sell you something today. Right. And I want them to hear that early, because it's better for them to hear that early and get over it early than it is for them to hear it later in the sale and, take that punch in the mouth later in the sale, if that makes sense.
No,
okay, so hey, have you ever bought here before? Yes or no. Either way, I have the same, communication back to them. Okay, if they say yes, okay, great. So then the way that we do business. If they say no, okay, great. Well, the way that we do business here at Uncharted Recreation is we like to sit you down. We like to ask you questions about where you're going to go, what you're going to be doing, what you plan on going with, what kind of vehicle you have, what your budget might be, and all of the little details that I need to know so that I can make sure I have an RV that meets your needs. Once I have enough information, now I'm saying once I have enough information, because I'm prefacing it that I need the information for me so that I can show you what you need. So by me saying once I have enough information, now when they say, listen, I want to go out to the lot, well, now I can say, well, I don't have enough information yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because what I told you in the beginning is I'm going to ask you enough questions so that I have enough information so that I'm comfortable to show you an RV that meets your needs. And why wouldn't you want me to show you an RV that meets your needs? These are the subliminal things that are happening inside of our subconscious when I'm saying these things to them is, hey, I understand that you want to go out there, but I don't have a good picture on what you're looking for. And I don't want to waste your time or show you something that won't really meet your needs. So let me just ask you a couple more questions so I can really dial in the right RV. That way I can show you one or two RVs when we get out to the lot, and it'll be more beneficial to both of us. Does that sound fair enough? And they're always going to say yes. And every time you said, I love how you asked that. Does that sound fair? I love that question, because when someone says it's fair, they're going to allow you to go through it, because humans by nature, we're fair people. Most of us are fair. If we're unfair, we're usually an unrealistic person, which we don't like to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So most of the time, as long as we're being fair, people will go through whatever we're asking them to, right? And it's always fair if I'm asking you questions so that I can learn what you need, right? Because why would I want to show you something that you don't need? That doesn't make sense. It's not fair to you for me to show you something that you don't need.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot that I'm unpacking here in just the intro. But the reason I do it that way is because it really subconsciously tells the customer that I'm in it for them. And then at the same time, it tells them the process I'm going to take them through so that they agree to go through it. Okay. So then I'm going to say, something like, oh, so the way that we do business here, we sit you down, we ask you those questions, which gives me permission to keep you in my office and interview you as long as I need till I can find out what RV you have. Okay. And then once I have that information, I'm going to look at my RVs to make sure that I'm going to show you a unit that meets your needs. And once I do that, we'll take a look at one or two RVs, because once we get past one or two RVs, we start to confuse people and they start to look at too much stuff and they can't make a decision anymore. So I'll tell them that in the beginning. We'll take a look at one or two RVs so they know that we're not looking at three. Plus that takes your time per deal. If you're showing three RVs, well, that's another probably 20 minutes in the sales process that you have to take. And when you get to three, your chances of closing are probably going to go down because you're showing too many. Does that make sense? So we're showing probably more RVs than we might need to because we don't have the information we need. And then kind of like you did throughout the sales process is you were learning more things about me as you were demoing. So you learned that I like cornhole in the third unit. You learned after you showed me a rear bathroom that my wife was a hippie. You see what I'm saying? So you did, the first unit could have been a better show, right? Because if you knew that my wife was a hippie, you might have showed me something with more floor space or something, or something that had a smaller bathroom, but you know what I mean? Something that fitted our personalities more better, right? So when you show me that first one and it doesn't fit my needs as a customer, it then is like, well, does he know what I need? Does he know what I want? You know what I mean? And they're not going to tell you that in the RV. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to say, listen, you just showed me an RV. They're going to say, yeah, this is nice. This is nice. This is cool. This is beautiful. Right. And then they're just going to, kind of roll on to whatever you show them next. And then you do it again. And then, you're losing a little bit more credibility again, because you're still trying to figure out what the customer needs, because because they didn't give you the time you needed in the beginning. Does that make sense? They just rushed you. And then now you're caught inside of an RV trying to learn them while they're trying to just push you around, right? And when that happens, it's very hard to close a deal because you're fighting an uphill battle the whole time, right? And I know you feel it all the way through the deal, and every salesperson out there knows what we're talking about too. And that's why I really, really slow it down in the beginning. And I try to take that control from the very beginning. And I say, hey, listen, the way that we do business, and I tell you, we sit you down. I'm not going to say we just ask you questions. We sit you down, and I'm going to take you to my office. And then we sit you down. I take you to my office. I interview and qualify you. And then we go out to the lot. Once I show you one or two RVs, we'll come back to my office. And then I'll show you the numbers in my office. Because I don't want to quote you on the spot inside of an RV what the numbers might be. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't buy an RV on a number that it might be. You need to know the real number, right? So I'm going to take you then back into my office once I show one or two RVs, and I'm going to say, hey, listen, or, in the interview and qualify, then we'll go back into my office so I can show you the numbers so you know what it costs to buy it cash or with a monthly payment. That way you're not assuming if they're a cash buyer or a finance buyer. I'll tell you what you need to buy it cash or for a monthly payment. That way you have all the information you need to make an educated decision on if the RV is right for you. Now, if it's right for you, you'll buy it. If it's not right for you, I won't even ask you to buy it. Does that sound fair enough? And that's kind of my intro in a nutshell. And now what I'm saying there, now this is kind of another soft close in a sense. Because now I just told you in the very beginning that, listen, If it's the right RV for you, then you're going to buy it. And I'll say it jokingly, like I don't press it hard on that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, and if it's the right RV, you'll buy it. And if not,
Yeah.
no big deal. I won't even ask you to buy it. Does that sound fair? And then they might like, oh, we're not buying today, but yeah, that sounds fair. And it's just me getting them used to, hey, I'm asking you to buy. You see, I'm asking you twice in the very beginning, so that when I ask you for the third and fourth and fifth time, when it's a little more serious, it's not as off-putting to you, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's why those are in right there in the intro, right? So then once I do that intro and they say, yeah, that sounds fair. Well, now what they just agreed to is sit down in the office with me for me to ask as many questions as I need to till I feel comfortable enough to take you out to the lot and show you an RV that meets your needs. And then I'm going to look through my inventory. And if I see an RV that meets your needs, we're going to go out and look at it. So what I'm telling you then is that I'm going to interview you. And once I know what your needs are, I'm going to look at my inventory. So that means if I look at my inventory and we go to the lot, that I have the perfect RV for you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're looking at RVs now, if we get to that part of the sales process, now I'm showing you perfect RVs. See what I'm saying? And as long as I show you perfect RVs, one or two of them, then you're going to buy today, right? So if you can learn the perfect RV in that first 5, 10, 15 minutes, sometimes it might even take 20 minutes in your office for an interview and qualify. But the more time you can spend in there asking questions, the better it is going to be for you at the end of the sale. Okay. So I'm going to tell them right from the very beginning, we're going to sit in my office. I'm going to ask you questions. And then once we get into the office, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, so what are you guys going to be doing? And they might say, well, we plan on traveling. Now, this is where you're going to unravel everything that you unraveled, through the process. What are you guys going to be doing? Oh, well, we're going to be traveling. My wife, we like to go here and there. Or maybe they won't even get that deep at first. Hey, we like to go traveling. And, we just want to come in and take a look at some RVs. Right. And now I'm going to think who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay, well, where you guys plan on going? Oh, well, we've thought about going to, my wife's a hippie, so she wants to go everywhere across the United States that has trees. So we want to go all the way to California and see the big redwoods. We want to go to, Montana to see, and then we're going to get into these things that they like, the different places that they want to go, and where they want to be. Oh, well, what would it mean for your wife to go see those big red trees in California? You just learned she's a hippie. So now, what would it mean for your wife to go see those big? So you see, I'm not even asking about an RV yet. I'm not asking about prices. I'm not asking about nothing about really what their needs are. What would it mean for your wife to get to see those big red trees? Oh man, she would love it. She's been talking about it for years on end. Like, that's part of the reason why we're even looking at RVs, because she's such a hippie that we want to keep traveling, and she keeps begging me to go traveling with her. But I'm like, you see what I'm saying? So now now your customer is opening up to you. You see what I'm saying? They're telling you their innermost dreams, what they talk about on their off time, how the wife interacts with them, and how she's begging them to start camping. You see what I'm saying? And you're learning these intricate things that really are what's going to close the deal for you, right? Vacuum bonded walls are nice. D-Lam's nice. That stuff, getting rid of that stuff is nice, but it's not what's going to sell an RV ever, right? So, we start asking, oh, well, what would it mean to see the redwoods? We see that. Okay. Now maybe we get into, what are you going to be towing it with? Okay, now, I have an F-150, right? So now we can get a picture of what kind of weights we're in. Okay, well, what do you like when you're out there on the campground? Maybe we ask the guy. We know the wife's a hippie. We know they like trees. Well, you know what I like? I like an open floor plan. I've seen some slides out there, and I like how much room they give me. On my off time, I like to watch TV, and I like to relax on the inside, or I like to play cornhole, and sit by the fire. So it just depends on how hot it is outside. But really, we also like to do what we're going to be doing most of is probably like kayaking and hiking. So we're going to be out there. So now oh, we need room for kayaks. If there's kayak racks or something, or maybe we could sell them maybe we know we have a kayak rack in parts that we can sell them, and we can put it on this unit. So we might mention something like that to get parts involved, or if a certain unit might have a kayak rack, maybe we know, oh, maybe that might be a good floor plan. But we're just taking mental notes and learning, what they're going to be doing so that we can show them that perfect RV on one or two so that we can close a quick deal. Because if you can get 20, 30 minutes of good interview and qualify, then show one or two units for, 15, 20, 30 minutes and can get a whole deal closed, in an hour and a half, that's usually pretty good on an RV lot. Sometimes they can get pretty long especially when you show more than one or two RVs, you can get into hours, right? And then 5 different ups walked in and everybody closed the deal but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, why? And it's because you spent too much time with a buyer before you knew what they wanted, and now you're trying to play catch up halfway through the sales process, and it doesn't work, right?
Yep.
So, we're asking those questions. And I always say go past surface level, because we don't want to just know what their truck is and then say, I have a perfect RV for you. We want to really dig in. So now we learn that the husband wants a little bit more space and wants a little bit more room, and he's like slides. And then you might say, well, let me ask you this. Have you seen any floor plans that you've liked, right? Oh, well, we were looking online and we saw, a 27 RKS that we liked, right? So now you're starting to think, okay, well, a 27 RKS has a rear kitchen, has a nice big slide. They have a lot of room, a lot of cook space. What did you like about an RKS? Well, we like the big kitchen because I like to cook. I'm a chef, right? So now you might learn that the husband likes to cook. You didn't even know that, right? But he loves the big rear kitchen, but he likes to. So now you see what I'm saying? So, oh, well, what did you like about that? Well, I like to cook, so I like the big rear kitchen. It has a lot of space for me. My wife's a hippie, so she'll sleep in anything. So it doesn't matter what the RV is for her, right? I'm going to buy the RV for me and travel together with her, right? So now, like when you showed me the second RV that was very hippie-ish, well, if I'm buying it for me, then that might be a wasted time because I don't want something that's small. You know what I mean? I really want something that big, but you didn't ask enough questions to learn that I want something big, but she's a hippie, so we don't want a big bathroom, right? We want more living space. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So then you can dig in. Well, why do you want more space? Oh, because I do this, this, and that. Oh, well, what would it mean to you to, have more space and be able to have this while your wife got to go see the redwoods? Man, it would be perfect. So you're building a picture in your customer's mind of what what they've been dreaming of essentially for the last few months, right? And then when you have that kind of information and you show the right RV, now you can close them on the first one or two because their eyes are going to light up a little differently when they go in that and they start to see that, oh my God, the picture he just built works with this RV and we could start camping now. So now my wife really wants to see the redwoods. Well, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How come you want to keep torturing you and your wife and not letting her see these redwoods? You guys have been talking about this for years. You have an F-150. This is the perfect RV for you. Buy it today. You'll be at the redwoods next week. Start living life. And when you say something like that to a customer after you learn their needs, it's a connection now. You're my brother. You're looking out for me now. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not a salesman anymore. Like, you're actually looking out for me. And I'll be like, you know what? You're right. I've been putting me and my wife off for years. I'm going to sign this right now, Jay. Boom.
Yeah.
So, I think that would be the only tweak I would say is spend a little bit more time in the interview because you have a good flow. Like you were doing good on the objections. You weren't nervous getting an objection. It seems like it's probably easy for you to hear no and then keep going. So what I think is if you were to just dial that interview and qualify in a little bit more, get them to sit down with you in the office and just really spend a little bit more time in there so that when you show that first RV, it's the right one. Because now you can show one RV, say, hey, let's go take a look at the numbers. When they say, man, this is beautiful, this is amazing, this is exactly what we want. We're not showing them another RV, and we're not looking through it again either. We're going right to the desk. We're going to look at the numbers. We're going to tell you, okay, this is going to cost you $200 a month or $20,000 out the door, tax, title, doc fees, sign right. Now we can get them to sign something that actually gets them to buy. You see what I'm saying? So now we're like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Here's your tax. Here's your title. And when I sit them down and I show them the write up, I'm going to say, okay, if we were to title this today, who would we title it under? You or your wife? I don't know. Probably me. How do you spell your name? Boom. Okay, what's your address? And I'm looking at the paper. What's your address?
Yep.
Boom. Okay, and then I'm asking all, what county are you in? What's your zip? What's your phone number? What's your email? All the different things that you need, right? And then I'm hitting the numbers, and then I'm gonna say, okay, for monthly payment, cash, boom, this is what you want. Sign right here. Perfect RV. Buy it today. Well, Jay, I told you I wasn't buying today. Well, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this: how come you want to, keep torturing your wife and not showing her the you know what I mean? Then we're going right back into that.
Yeah,
Right, it's signed right here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Jay, my wife, well, she's not here and she doesn't have a stuff. Well, I hear what you're saying, but let's do this. Let's make the deal contingent on your wife coming back. You'll put a $500 deposit today, and if your wife doesn't like it and you guys don't want to buy it, deal's off. No big deal. No harm, no foul. But what we'll do, put $500 down today, sign right here. This is the perfect RV for you. I only have one left. Now that's stronger because I didn't mention it mid sales process, right? Now we only have one left. So let's lock this in on your name now, and then we can just wait for your wife. So see how I'm benefiting you, right? Now that's a benefit to you because I'm giving you an easy $500 out, sign right here, bring your wife back, and then we're good to go, right? And usually that turns into a sale. You know that it turns into the sale most of the time if you can get that, right?
Majority, yeah.
So then, boom, we're good to go there. Well, I don't really make any decisions with my wife. Well, I hear what you're saying, but you wouldn't be because it's contingent on your wife coming back. So all we need is a credit card number. We won't even run it until you're through finance and we get you approved, if we know we're a cash buyer or whatever. So just, drop 500, sign right here. You know what I mean? But we're really always going back to them emotions. And, I hear what you're saying, but why are you going to, you and your wife could get in a car accident next week and you guys would never see the redwoods. You have the perfect RV here. It's at the right price. You have the truck. You have all the means to do it. But the only thing you don't have is time. You're getting older. Your wife's getting older. And who knows what's going to happen, right? Buy this RV today. Start traveling. Start living out your dreams so that when you get to the end of life, you don't regret it. Sound fair enough? Sign right here. You know what I mean? So I'm not even selling on the RV. The RV, we already know is perfect. What your customers aren't doing is they're not living their life, which is more important than an RV. You know what I mean? You're not going after your goals. You're not traveling with your wife. You're not seeing the places you want. You're not, you know what I mean? So I think that if you really tailored it more closer in the interview and qualify, and I think the one thing that you could do just to fix that right off the get is really dial in what like introduction you want to use that has those pieces in it, and then just boom. And when they tell you, hey, we're gonna go, just hey, I hear what you're saying, but I really need to understand what your needs are before I can show you an RV. And and we do it that way because we don't want to waste your time, we don't want to waste the dealership's time, and we want to make sure that we're showing you something that actually fits your needs. That's the most important part. I don't want to show you something that doesn't meet your needs, because the day that you buy something from me that doesn't meet your needs, I'm going to hear about it in a year later, and then you're going to have $20,000 in negative equity that you're not going to be able to get out of. So let me just take, 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes to ask you some questions. That way I can show you an RV that really meets your needs. Does that sound fair enough? You know what, Jay, that does sound fair. Okay, walk with me. Now we're always interviewing in the desk, always interview at the desk, not in the showroom, not walking the lot. We're always trying to interview at the desk, right? The same desk we're going to try to close them at. And we're always showing them the numbers at that same desk, right? That's the way I always like to do it, because it's just when you got someone in the middle of the showroom showing them numbers standing up, like you just don't have enough. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just harder to close it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I mean, but other than that, I think it was a good sales process. Like, I like how many questions you were asking. I think that if you just dialed those questions to the front instead of throughout, that it would probably make a big difference for you. And then just learning what RV really meets their needs before showing them will cut down that time per deal, and it'll also help you close a deal because they're going to be more excited, and they're not going to they lose excitement every RV they go in that they don't want to buy. Every time they go into something they don't want to buy, they're losing a little bit of excitement, and they're getting a little bit more irritated because they're losing a little bit more time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, we hate being at dealerships for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Like, we want to in, out, and that's what that process is designed for. So if they just give you that 20 minutes up front, then you really make the whole thing shorter for them, right? Because the people that are there forever are the ones that go out to the lot and start looking at everything, right? The people that aren't there are the ones that talk to a salesman, find the perfect RV, the perfect floor plan, and then they know what they want to buy, whether it's today or in a month, right? And then we're always just using those emotions to try to close them today. Is really kind of, how I always did it and was very successful with it. And, it really plays towards your customers' emotions and really adding value to their life and making sure that you're a salesperson that's different from everybody else because you actually care about their needs. And you show them that by the sales process you take them through and the questions you ask. So,
got it.
That's my 2 cents. Hopefully that helps you out. I know this is a little longer than we talked about before, but hopefully you got some good, knowledge from that or info, or hopefully you can take something back to the dealership that can help you close some more deals and also help, get the right RV to your customers. Because at the end of the day, when you get the right RV to them, you're going to get more referrals, you're going to get more reviews, which is going to lead to more business for you. So, one quote that I've always seen that always stuck out to me, I think it's Zig Ziglar, is if you help enough people get what they want, you'll always have what you want. So, I think that applies in RV sales. And, I think the one thing that separates the good RV salesmen from the bad ones is a lot of people talk about their RVs and what they have and, the floors and, the no D-lam and this and that, before they even learn what their customers really, really want to do with the RV. You know what I mean? Like, actually, like, deeply, like, emotionally, like a little bit intimate. You know what I'm saying? To where you're a little more connected with your customer than you typically are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so what do you think? Do you think you got something from it?
Yeah. Definitely. Obviously, going through a role play, it's always, it's role plays are what role plays are, but it's better to practice with, people just like yourself or your own sales team rather than customers, right? So,
for sure.
I just saw, like, hey man, you got great content out there. Iron sharpens iron. Let's just go for it. And no, definitely got some good feedback, good questions to ask and things like that. So no, I was really excited. There's definitely tidbits that I could tailor and mold and add into, my tool belt. That's truly what it is. You just have items for your tool belt that you just want to add and add and add. The more tools you have, then the better you could attack a project, or you could tailor to whichever customer's coming through the door. You never know which customer's going to be coming in. Here at our dealership, it is an open lot. So majority of the time, the way that it's kind of set out is we actually don't really get a lot of customers come through the showroom. Since our lot is up front, we have RVs here, and then the sales office is actually behind it sometimes.
Oh, so they got to walk through the RVs to get to you. Oh,
exactly.
Wow, okay.
So being able to go on the fly, go on the cusp is kind of where I was, majority of the time we don't really have our desk or offices yet, right? So being able to just go through it the way that we would, rather than a closed or a funnel type dealership or stuff like that, was one thing that I wanted to kind of throw out your way, because when we go through our process, right, hearing the feedback that being able to slow customers down, I think would be one thing that I could improve on. Yeah. Maybe grab them and try to sit them down, but it is tough if they're already in.
If you're already now. In the summertime, what I would tell you to do is to sit them down in an RV and do it at the table in the RV is what I would tell you to do. But that's probably not likely, and like, you'll be a damn sardine, and no one will be comfortable with that. So I wish if they were, the air conditioning was running and they were nice in there, that would probably be the way to do it. but
Oh,
that
for sure.
definitely does make it a little bit more difficult because they're already like kind of free in the unit. You know, all the ones
Mhm.
that I've worked at, you know, you come, you talk to the receptionist first, and then you know the receptionist gives you to the salesperson, and then boom, we're in our
Yeah,
sales process. Um,
exactly.
and it's definitely a lot harder. You know, some car sales that I've done in my past where you'd have to go out onto the lot and then meet them on the lot. But that's what they taught us there as well is, hey, even if
Mhm.
they're on the lot, you need to bring them in, interview them, qualify them, sit them down at your desk, and just tell them, like, hey, listen, why are you out here looking in the lot? Let's go inside where it's nice and cool. I'll get you a water and I'll learn what you're looking for. That way we can come back out to the lot and I can show you some RVs that actually meet your needs instead of you just wasting your time out here all day. Does that sound
Yeah.
fair enough? Yeah, that sounds fair, Jay. Okay, come on, let's get out of the heat. Right? So that's how I would probably do it at yours if I see someone out. And is it free ups? Can you just go out and grab anybody walking around?
Uh, no, I mean, we do have a roto. I mean,
Oh, okay.
you're on a roto scope, right? So it allows me to come into, my bullpen, do my
Yeah.
follow up, call out, things like this. Um,
Yeah. I
so,
got
but yeah, for
excited
the
for
most,
you for a second. I was about to say, man,
yeah.
I would
Yeah,
have
just
loved those
run.
kinds of dealerships
Oh
because,
yeah.
you know, some people aren't that active, you know what I mean? So if
Oh
you
yeah.
just sit at the door and it's, yeah, oh, there's another one, see ya.
Let's roll. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That'd be the dream, right? Yep.
yeah, that would be awesome. So yeah, that's what I'd say is, you know, maybe try
Cool.
that, you know, you go out there and I'd hit them with the same intro, even on the lot. Hey, let me ask you this. Well, you know, welcome to Uncharted Recreation. You know, what can I help you find? Oh, you know, we're just here to look around. You got some great RVs here, blah, blah, blah. Wow, nice. I hear what you're saying. Let me ask you this. Have you ever bought from here? Have you ever bought you know, from us? Yeah, no, we never have. Yes, we have. Okay, great. Well, the way that we do business here is, and then I tell them the same thing. And
Hmm.
then I would say, okay, so let's go inside. Let me find out exactly what you're looking for. That way I can show you an RV that meets your needs and so that you don't have to be out here sweating and wasting your time and getting all hot. Does that sound fair enough? And then when they say, yeah, I'm like, okay, come on. And now I'm
Yeah.
taking them, you know, from the lot to my desk. And I'm doing
Yeah.
the same thing just out on the lot. And I guess we have to walk a little bit further to get to my desk.
Yeah.
And then once they say, yeah, it sounds fair, I'm just walking and I'm turning because they're going to
Yep.
follow you. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
and, you know, maybe if they're a little older, I'm going to walk slower. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'd slow down a little bit. But
So that way you don't leave
um,
them in the dust. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, that's what I'd say to try is
All
if
right.
you do get someone out there, try the same intro and then, you know, say, hey, so that we can, you know, not waste your time and you're out here walking around, you know, just going in units that don't really meet your needs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm in.
I think that
I'm
would
in.
probably work for you. But yeah, so I mean, anytime you ever want to do these, I'm a fair game, you know. So like you said, iron sharpens iron. The best way to get better at a deal is to do it, you know, without a customer, so that when you have a
Hmm.
real customer, you know, we're not trying to sharpen the axe with a real customer, right? We're
Exactly.
dialed in, we're ready to go, and we can get their, you know, RV and get the deal closed. So anytime you want to do one, let me know. Maybe implement these steps here for a week or so and see how it goes for you, and then we can reconvene and run it back and see, you know, how it's been for you and how it's kind of helped you. So I
For sure.
won't take up any more of your time. I appreciate you for being here, Juan. Jay Perez. So you go by Jay. Why didn't you like Juan? It's a great
I'm a
name.
junior, so growing up,
Ah,
JJ was my
got
name,
you.
and
That
so
makes sense. That makes
just
sense.
dropped one of the J's off. That's it. Yeah.
I got you. All right,
Yeah.
Jay. Well, I appreciate you for being here, Jay. If you want to
Hmm.
connect with Jay, I got his LinkedIn in the description there. So go connect with him on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn. If your dealership needs some more leads or some sales training, give me a call 330-703-3930. I appreciate everybody for being here. We'll be doing live role plays and sales training all year long. So please connect with me on LinkedIn. Follow me on, you know, Facebook and go like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Infinite Media Resources. That way you can stay up to date with sales and marketing. So again, Jay, I appreciate you and hopefully I'll see you on another one.
No, for sure. Likewise. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, beautiful. Have a great day.
You too.